Coming out of the ruins of a 14-year civil war, Liberia's President Sirleaf Ellen Johnson is seeking to consolidate her political and civil rights campaign as Liberia enters another significant moment in its journey towards a new political future. With Liberia midwifing a political transition, how the country manages its controversial election stalemates in the face of widespread allegations of irregularities would be a decisive move as a new threshold beckons in Liberia's path to consolidating on its nascent democracy. It's question time. Welcome to the program. I'm Benga Ashiru. Please join in this conversation. Send us your comments on our social media platforms. As we glean on Liberia's roadmap to a new political dispensation, our guest on this episode is the President of Liberia, Sirleaf Ellen Johnson. Join us in this interview.
Freedom, democracy, civil rights have really been my platform in these past 11 plus years. What we're now hoping is that we will conclude our political transition peacefully and successfully, and that the winner of the election I will duly hand over to, and that that elected person, the new president of Liberia, will bring everybody together. In many ways, it's been a very difficult electoral process, lots of division, lots of problems, lots of challenges. But I think we know that Liberians have suffered a whole lot from the conflict of the past, and only peace, which I've been able to maintain all these past several years, is what will sustain us and enable us to achieve our future.
Now, let's look at the issue of human rights now. The ECOWAS human rights apparatus has been centered so far on your contribution to the promotion of human rights now. So what are you doing to deepen this in Liberia?
Well, it depends on how you define human rights. If human rights is merely freedoms, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, freedom of ethnicity, then that's a very limited definition. Human rights is being able to give people the opportunity to pursue their career through an education, through better health facilities, through better infrastructure like roads and power and water, things that our citizens did not know and did not have. And so I see human rights in a broader context, and I think we've done a lot to bring human rights and to give access. Not all of our people have that full access, have lots of areas where there are inadequacies. But I think if you look at from where we came in 2006 to where we are today, there's been a tremendous amount of progress that has improved the human rights for all of our citizens.
Now let's look at the efforts at consolidating economic gains now. It's been observed that towards the end of your tenure, there have been more job openings now. Going forward, what would be your advice for the incoming administration?
We need to center more on education, particularly vocational and technical institutions, because thousands and thousands of our young men and women never had the opportunity to go to school during the years of conflict. Today they are adolescents, which means that they have limited desire to sit in a classroom with children who are 6 or 8 years old. So we have to equip them with the skills to enable them to have a job so that they too can have a decent life. And that's what I'm going to suggest. We did some of it, but I think we need to shift the emphasis a little bit from infrastructure, where we centered on, to a little bit more human resources through skills training, through better education.
Do you feel that this coming towards the end of your career, is it, from the benefit of hindsight now, is this a kind of regret to you that you've not been able to drive this to the finish line?
Well, I hope I will take it to the finish line. I'm not going to give up on that. I hope we're going to see a successful transition, and I will hand over to the elected president. But yes, I have some regrets that based on certain difficulties, most times externalities, we're not able to achieve the goals we set. For example, the global financial crisis affected us to a large extent. The kind of debt we inherited that limited our fiscal space. The fact that our major exports were subjected to sharply declining global prices. And then we had that terrible disease that caused us to lose 2 years of our endeavor. So with all of that, yes, I'm sorry we had a little bit of bad luck in all of this. And that bad luck sort of shortchanged us so that we couldn't get those goals. But at the same time, I'm happy when I look at from whence we came to where we are today. I think Liberia has a better future.
Yeah, in terms of economic gains now, let's look at some of the bilateral initiatives that have been taken so far. We understand that some states in Lagos are commencing large-scale exportation of rice to Liberia in Lagos and also in Kebbi State. How do you see such initiative?
Well, we would promote that very much because we know that intra-Africa trade is still at unacceptable low levels. And so we promote that. We would like to see Nigeria supply of rice replace Thailand or India or other places. And so I think our trade ministers, you know, who work under the different ECOWAS committees can do very much more to encourage it. I hope at the same time that we will find something to give to Nigeria.